always loved this land. He loved to come, even though he didn't live on it, he loved to come here as a boy and a man to hunt and fish and ride. And so it was kind of home to him because he, like we, spent his life traveling. I remember my grandmother telling me that he invented the zipper on men's pants. At the time, all little boys wore pants that had buttons down the front, and he just told grandmother that he wanted her to buy him a zipper. And so, and he told her how big it should be, and she bought him a zipper, and he sewed it, he pulled all the buttons off his pants and sewed the zipper in.
Wow, I don't remember that. No, I didn't.
I mean, he was just very precocious and always came up with great ideas. And but he was also very, well, he was perfect for the military, put it that way, because he had a very strong sense of integrity and organization and what's right and what's wrong, and he liked structure, and so he was a perfect military person. But
it was perfect.
It was perfect. He was perfect.
Colonel Jack Harris spent nearly 20 years in the Army. During World War II, he served in the 284th Engineer Combat Battalion.
Daddy was waiting in August of '44 to be sent overseas. He was in France and he was in Germany.
Right.
And he was at the Remagen during their decision over who was going to take the bridge down and who was going to keep it from being taken down. And that was part of an Ardennes.
Right.
Battle of the Bulge was Ardennes.
That's right? Yeah.
Okay.
After World War II, Harris and his family moved frequently, never calling one place home for very long.
Then we were in Canada.
We were in
Ottawa.
He was he working on the Dew line there?
He was a deputy district engineer in Ottawa. And then we went to Newfoundland. That was 2 years. And then we went to Newfoundland, where he continued as an engineer.
And he was working on the Dew line. I remember that.
Then he went to Korea. That was 61. And he was with the United Nations Command in Seoul, 8th Army Division. We have pictures of his name as on Hartwell Dam. He was there during the construction phase and the opening of the powerhouse at Hartwell Dam.
Construct the Hartwell Dam?
Well, he wasn't he was a colonel at that point. I don't think he was out there digging, if that's a no.
Colonel Harris retired in 1963 and eventually moved out to California with his wife. When she passed away in February of 1980, Harris moved back to East Tennessee. He rented a home and made plans to build on the family's land across John Sevier Highway. That Christmas, he flew to Judy's home in Jacksonville, Florida to spend the holiday with his daughters. The day after he returned to Knoxville, Harris had a massive heart attack and died.
And it was so sudden and so unexpected that Jackie and I were both in total shock and denial and all the other stuff. And so we had him buried at there was a family plot at Woodlawn. So we had him buried there on a very cold day, and there was no military involvement other than he did have a flag on his casket, and I don't even know how that came to be.
I have no idea.
But
don't really remember much of it.
Yeah, it was just kind of a fog. And that was 30 years ago.
Judy first heard about the new veteran cemetery on the family land when she was talking on the phone to her cousin, Susie Clark. Clark had been trying to sell a parcel of land which had belonged to her grandmother due to a stipulation in her father's will. The family didn't want it to go to developers, so they contacted the state when they heard about the need for a new veterans cemetery.
So I called Jackie immediately and I said, maybe we can move Daddy there. And she said, maybe he could be the first person. I said, oh, how wonderful.
The heavy rains have pushed construction on the project back approximately 30 days behind schedule, but the cemetery should be completed by mid-July of this year. Before the opening ceremony, Colonel Harris will be given a full military funeral and become the first veteran interred at the East Tennessee Veterans Cemetery. But for Judy and Jackie, it is more than being first.
I think what it really means to me personally is that Daddy's kind of coming home. That's really it. He's coming home. Even though we didn't live on this property, it's a coming home. Many people come home from the war, but he's coming home to the land.